Let's talk about energy. I think it's a pretty intense subject right now. A lot of you sharing with me how we're all lacking energy, and I did a lot of experiments on myself and gathered some information. And I think we're going to do mini webinar. I'll share with you all of my tools, how I deal with an issue. But first, I want to tell you a couple of things about energy. The very first thing, I always talk about it right now, that when we are in the fourth dimension right now, moving really, really far to the fifth dimension, when the rules of the game are absolutely changed, I want to tell you that a lot of what seemingly was health symptoms of illness or a problem in our body, they are symptoms of cleansing, restructuring, rejuvenating, and releasing of old programs. So a lot of things that you used to think as aches and pains and problems, and you don't understand what is going on with you because you're doing a lot of things right, they are not symptoms of a problem. And I really want you to shift that perspective. You can still go to a doctor if you wish to, if you can still work on the nutrition plans, you can still do some of the old things. But first of all, how all of them gonna work like magic for you is when you shift this perspective from I am sick and something wrong with you to my body is transitioning, my body is changing. And I'm going to talk about some of these changes, just some of them, because a lot of them happening right now. And a lot of them, they are showing me, when I say they, is my guides, my Merkaba team, my higher self, my Holy Spirit, and absolute God, whatever you want to call him. And just when I'm talking to you right now, one message directly from God is to know how you're absolutely loved, how you need to forget all of these thoughts of fear that your brain and your body so used to. When your consciousness expands, you just realize in how many programs we live. We don't even notice how our thoughts that we used to think in third dimension, thoughts of survival and fear, how they rule our mind, and how we live in our own programs where we fight, where we feel lack. And actually about lack, liver is the organ that is not about anger, it's about lacking, that we always feel lack of something, lack of love, lack of money, lack of safety. And right now, absolute God want to tell you that you're so loved, that you are badass, absolutely badass, living here on earth right now and going through the transitions we are going through. You are brave, you're pure light, you are everything that you think of right now, right this second, that you feel like it's your desire and it's somewhere up there and you need years and years to get it. It's gonna happen soon, a lot sooner than you think. It's all one big game where you're supporting God in having experiences through you. And everything that you see is bad about you, it's just an illusion, absolutely an illusion. Everything is good. You're amazing. You are so loved. And when you see God, and when you get to kind of his level and you look at us through his eyes, there's so much love, there's so much careful, I don't even know how to say it in human words. The feeling is amazing. You have to be so gentle, so loving with yourself. just stop, pause for a moment, forget. We're going to talk a lot about it. We're going to talk so much about how to get into these feelings, especially for women. We forgot how to be so gentle with our avatar, with our body. We always feel like we need to go, achieve, do. And he wants to show us different way. And we're already there. The only thing we need to do right now is to show our brain that there is another way to do it. Absolutely there is. And it's not that easy, especially when at this moment of a transition, the older you are, the more experiences you had, more programs. And we're gonna get there. So where the energy goes right now, I'm probably not gonna cover all of them. I don't want to make it too long, but 2 things you need to know absolutely. Like I said, the lack of energy and fatigue right now is not necessarily the symptom of something super wrong with your body or illness. It's the symptom of your cells, first of all, changing its energy production from mitochondria to centrosomes. There is a lot of research on this topic right now. So whereas mitochondria is a bacteria, outside bacteria that we have agreement on coexisting with, and we don't need it anymore. So we will not need glucose, we will not need even oxygen for producing energy. And it's a huge transition for our body. For some people, it's going to take a lot faster, like several years. For some people, it's going to take a lot longer. For humanity, it might take like 200, 300 years. It's all different. It's all about the experience your soul decided to go through on this earth. And another thing is, for many of us, we going to live very long life in a very young, good-looking bodies, and this is happening right now. So every time you open your eyes and you see 1 week your body looking older and bigger, and we have all these weight problems, energy problems, a lot of things, don't stress. Everything goes the way it's supposed to go, but we have to help the body to transition. We don't even have to. The life will live itself. Everything that needs to be changed and needs to happen, it's going to happen. Honestly, we just think that we're doing something in life. Life absolutely lives itself, body doing what it needs to do. Sometimes you feel like you need to eat more. Sometimes you don't want to eat, but in your human brain start panicking, and as a habit start feeling guilty of you, for example, being vegan, and all of a sudden you want a sausage or meat. But the message is, stop thinking about your old habits, about your body, about your life from the same consciousness of fear. Your body knows what to do. Your brain knows what to do. Life knows what to do. God knows what to do. And absolutely, it doesn't mean that you need to eat and you need to eat pizza every day, right? Your intention, your love for your body, your goal, yes, they absolutely have its place and they should be there. But if all of a sudden your plans are interrupted, it's in dieting or your job or how you take care of your body, do not panic. Sometimes you don't see the way of what's happening, but your spirit knows. And sometimes these changes or these transitions or what's happening to you, sometimes they're very illogical, because God is not logical. Spirit is not logical. Absolutely not. We are logical here. And sometimes you panic and you're thinking like, what's going on? Why I've been vegan for like 2 last years, but all of a sudden it's all different, and I want different things, and all of a sudden everything seems like it's not the same. The number one, your cells are changing, and sometimes they need to, example, being raw vegan for a long time, but that my body needed additional fats and lots of collagen and protein, and I had to give it to my body. And we're gonna, in my Telegram and even in here in my YouTube, we're gonna go to my YouTube channel. go to my YouTube channel and watch some of the videos and get to the Telegram. We're going to talk a lot about, because I've been through that, had so many experiences, and learn how to listen to God, my guides. I have some shortcuts that I'm going to share with you how to understand those signals. But from your logical mind, don't stress it. Don't get into the feeling of guilt and shame if your plans and how you see what you're doing is going other direction. Because sometimes when you have these plans, when you get yourself in a box of knowledge about something, either that nutrition or money or how to raise your kids, spirit will get involved and to start squeezing you to a bigger consciousness outside of this box. And then when these walls of the box are collapsing, sometimes it feels like fear. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know what's going on. Sometimes your brain is going to say, everything is wrong. Whatever I knew, it doesn't work anymore. And whatever is my body telling me, it doesn't seem right. For example, all of a sudden, your vegan self want a piece of steak, or want to, or it's telling you to order collagen and start doing lots of collagen, or whatever it is. Or with your kids, when they're saying they don't want to do the sports anymore and they must stop and they don't want to go there, and you're like, but we invested so much time in it, this is how it's supposed to go. So a lot of things are going to collapse right now, and our job right now is to live in the moment, here and now, because what we really all want is to feel satisfied here in this moment. But the problem is, we never feel satisfied in this particular moment. We never feel like we want the body we're in, we want the money we have, we want the relationship. We always want the next moment, be somewhere else. And that gap between I'm somewhere where I don't feel like I want to be here, I want to be somewhere else, that creates suffering. Because right now, when we're talking, you don't think about the millions you have or don't have on your account, about how big or small your body is, about the person next to you or lack of that person, about it's the moment. And if we learn how to live in this moment, that's the key to go into that 5D consciousness. Because when you learn how to live in this moment and listen to that guidance, that's when a lot of pain, a lot of these hormones, what hold us in this dimension, in this fight and flight, is our hormones. Sex hormones, the stress hormones, they're all like a tool of manipulation. And a lot of people call it different things, manipulation by like the dark forces, the demons, like whatever your body, your brain. But in the quantum level, it's all one big quantum game. It's all you, baby. We're all one consciousness that playing itself like a little kid. Just kidding, but we're not gonna go there yet. So the body is changing. The energy source is changing. The body is crystallizing. The viruses, lots of viruses. It's not like the herpes or, the modern virus we have, or like any famous viruses we know that live in our body. A lot of viruses, hunters viruses, they live in our bone marrow, in our nervous system. And right now, when electromagnetic field of Earth is increasing, which is our mother source, energy and electricity from our spirit, from God, when it's entering the body, and the consciousness is so big, it's not enough space in our body. So that feels like physical symptoms. And where these two energies, they enter the body, all of the viruses, And about this, it's actually not a woo-woo, it's science. You can read about Schumann resonance, how it increased recently by magnetic field. There are a lot of research about that. Electricity in the brain, about the new chromosomes, codons in our DNA are changing. We're gonna discover a lot more DNA strands that were called garbage DNA before. It's all out there, all the science out there. If I get a grain of truth in your brain, you start researching it, you'll find it, and I'm also going to talk about it in my YouTube channel. Hi, sending love back to you. Yeah, I feel the love. I love it. Thank you for sending it. So what I was talking about, virus is getting cleared. And they're going to be cleared. Do you want it or not? The only thing is, can we help our body through the transition? We don't want to leave the baby suffering by itself, right? Because we're not body with the soul. We're soul. We're part of God. We are spirit. We're soul. We're spirit that entering our body. That's who we are. That's who we are. And a lot of these things feel again like unknown, like something's getting destroyed, like there is a problem, but it's not. And helping your body sometimes even means medical intervention. Sometimes, if you truly feel like it. For example, me, again, raw vegan, and then all about natural stuff. If you watch my videos like 2 years ago, I was all about microbiome. A lot of things I was talking about. And all of experts, I tell you a secret about experts, we only talk about the things we didn't quite understand ourselves yet. So so I was learning a lot about microbiome, and I was saying how bad antibiotics is. And of course, it's all about the intention. If you use them every time you want to, just because of the fear, they are bad. But when I was going through a lot of transition, I needed to I was guided to reset my microbiome rather fast. I was told take antibiotics for 2 weeks, and my brain was like, what? No, antibiotics. No, I was studying microbiome, everything that other people talking about, but my body needed back then, really needed it, and it was absolutely, yeah, it was good. So things like that, if something coming to you as an intuition, if you feel with your body, I need to do it, but the whole world is telling you, not maybe the whole world, but if science or whatever you've read before or whatever you believe in feels like your brain is saying no, listen to your body, because your body is that vessel. Your body is that connection of your spirit to your outside world, and it knows the truth. The only thing that we need to do is to learn how to hear it. Привет, мамуль. And that's what we're going to do. It's a lot of things need to be done. And about 2 years ago, I stopped doing, I was pretty successful. I was invited to a lot of podcasts. I was doing my research. I was doing my business. And it was all from the wrong motivation. So for a year and a half, I stopped completely, and I was searching my soul. And, it was like leaving all of the money and living your profession when it's at its peak. It was scary. It was scary, but my soul told me, come on, baby, just dive into this. And I went through a lot of crazy things that happened to me. That's for another video. Real hard ones. And now I understand with my health, which was very painful because I researched for so long and I helped so many people, with my money, with my self-esteem with my body, how it looks. I went through horrible stuff. But now I understand why it's all been done, because when you have a higher purpose and then you want to be somebody big, you need to energetically, you need to match your huge big desires, you know. And if anything can shake you up, if anything can make you so upset, this little stuff. And when you get to a certain point, you understand how little our money problems are. How little it's all about consciousness. It's for another video too, because we're talking about bodies today. Go to my YouTube channel. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And if you feel guided to join me, to have a connection with me, to join my energy, to join my field and do it together where I can help you, talk to me, send me a message about my Telegram, where we can work really closely with everybody who joins, and we're going to do it together. I'll share all of my knowledge, and I'll share all of my everything that helped me to become who I am right now. And that's really beautiful feeling. When I say about who I am, is when you happy no matter what. That feeling of joy everybody's seeking for, when you thinking like, okay, when I get that money, when I get that vacation, when I get healthier, prettier, whatever is yours, we're all looking for that joy, enjoyment of yourself in everyday moment. And of course, that higher connection to our spirit, to God, because when we separate, we remember how to be there with Him, and that's all we're looking for. We're so deeply in love, and I'm telling you, God is so in love with us. He's looking at us with such gentle, loving eyes. And when you connect to Him, it's like nirvana. It's like ecstasy that makes everything else feel not real. And it's worth it, absolutely. But it's for another video too. And you absolutely just, if it's not hard, if you just I will share with you everything that helped me. So, new cells created. Right now, when our left part of our brain, and back to our bodies, left part and right part of our brain synchronizing, there is your third eye, your pineal gland get activated. Also, all the parts of your brain, prefrontal lobe, your nervous system, your I forgot the names in English. Gosh, for some reason my Russian words are coming to me, because mostly I talk to my guides in Russian, because I don't know why. Maybe because it's my native language. But so, long story short, your left and right part of your brain synchronizing, and they create that electricity that making your cells communicate with each other. And also right now, with the rapid increasing in the quantity, we're going to produce stem cells, new stem cells everybody's talking about. And that's how we're going to look younger, how we're going to keep our bodies a lot healthier. But when we produce these new cells, there are also a lot of old cells that are not synchronized with these new energies that are coming, electricity and electromagnetic field. These old cells are going to die, unfortunately, and we need to help our body to get all of the old energies, all of the byproducts, all of these biochemical reactions that happen in our bodies and their byproducts. We need to help our body to process it and to liquidate and to get it out of our bodies. And it's a process which you can absolutely help. But I'm telling you, the number one condition is to absolutely know inside of you that everything that's happening to you right now, God, your world is taking care of you, because it's an absolutely the truth. This is what is happening right now. And it might seem very hard, but a good thing to help yourself also is to help that synchronizing the left part and right part of your brain, which we're going to do together, and I'm going to help you with that. The process goes a lot faster. Then, of course, at the same time, still working on the old programs. Unfortunately or fortunately, all of this chakra cleansing and past life regressions and, going to psychologists that are not that useful. If you're talking about that, you go to a practitioner and they do something and they're going to help you. There is coming the time where we all remembering who we are, and that we take responsibility for ourselves in our own hands. When you go to a master, when you tell them, do something to me, clear, cleanse, do something, and help me out, what's going to happen? They're going to get stronger. They're going to get your problem and they're going to solve it, and they're going to get advanced, and that's going to help them. There is the time where you can become that master. There is the time that it's time to take responsibility on yourself, and it's very easy to see your old programs, and I'm going to show you how also. We don't need years. We don't need to depend on somebody else and go to them for like days and weeks and years and solve our problems. Everything's gonna happen like this, very fast nowadays. And you just need to see the problem, don't fight it, and just know it's there. I always say that number one skill right now, it's becoming an observer and concentration, because our thoughts kidnap us. It's like every car that passes you would kidnap you. That's what our thoughts doing. And when our thoughts creating the forms, creating these fearful sand castles around them, that's becoming not just stupid when we believe every thought, because our thoughts are not us, they're not ours. It depending on what level consciousness you are, these thoughts already live there. And when you elevate your consciousness, when you just go higher and higher vertically, those thoughts, they just don't live in your brain anymore. They just don't. And it's stupid to blame yourself for thoughts. It's stupid to think about them. And it's very, not just stupid, but dangerous to create your own forms out of them. You know how you talk to another person in your own head, how you already know how they think about you, what they do to you, how you feel offended. All of this we're leaving behind. All of these emotions, they are kind of like byproducts of our hormones. Hormones are manipulated by our microbiome. That's why I say it's very, very important to work on the microbiome and your consciousness at the same time, because you can cleanse yourself too until you feel squeaky. You can do a lot of antiparasitic protocols. You can do a lot of things fighting your disease, but it's not going to work until you really think that there is someone you need to fight. There is nobody except you and God in this universe. When you go to a certain level, you understand this. There are no dark ones. There is at a certain level, but it's for another video too. So it's just important to remember that whatever you do, it's all the game. It is an illusion and it is your game. So it is up to you to, if you're tired of the game you're playing right now, and a lot of us are, it's up to you to go to completely just close it, because you can't change conditions of the game being inside of this game, being a part of this game. Do you understand? Like I always say, if you're playing Mario game, you can change those turtles or monsters that are attacking you if you feel like you're Mario, if you feel like that persona that's inside of the game. But when you elevate your consciousness to persona who playing the video game, you can just close this game. Maybe you were playing game fighting with your consciousness, maybe with your money, maybe with something else. We're all playing a game. And when you start being concentrated in this moment here and now, you'll start seeing this game. You'll start seeing the thoughts that kidnap you and create your reality. That's why it's dangerous, because right now, after 2022, only your thoughts creating the reality you are in. Only them. And you don't even notice that. But the thing is, we can close this game. We're done playing Mario game, and we can go playing, I don't know, what's that Mikey and JJ game? My son, or we can go play Roblox, for example. We were like, okay, we don't even notice how I was, I was playing my health game. I had to get my health and health of other people to a certain level. I would fight my own parents for so long on what they eat. Like people who would eat wrong would irritate me. Oh my God. But we don't even understand how we get so sucked into this game. We really think that it's imagine you are a chef that's cooking some soup, carrot soup, and all of a sudden you look at that carrot soup and the soup sucks you in, and all of a sudden you think you're a carrot. You're not a carrot, baby. You're the chef. And that's what I'm here to remember and remind anybody who is in my soup that we are not carrots. So I'm inviting you into my soup because I'm tired of playing Mario game. I'm inviting you to absolutely different game. And that's what we're going to do. Enough of this soup, we're not carrots. And we together going to learn how to become chef. So we're not fighting anymore. We're creating new brain, new neuron connections. We are telling our hormones that we are not easily manipulated anymore. And also the reason for the fatigue, they're reminding me, the reason for the fatigue right now is because they're literally deactivating all of the parts of our hormonal like reactions to cortisol and adrenaline. They're literally turning this shit off. We're not going to be having the same reactions. We're not going to be having the same parts of our brain responsible for the fear or for like reacting to the outside circumstances. We don't need to be living in fight and flight anymore. We don't need to survive anymore. 5D is about creation. 5 dimension is about enjoying. It is about feeling and co-creating with God. So we had this experience of 3rd dimension. Why? Just so we could know what it is. Because God doesn't have body. It feels this dimension through us. It lives through us. And to know what is light, and this old as the world, to know what is cold, what you need to something to compare it to. Hot to cold. We live in a duality. Where God lives, there is no duality. Everything is, there is no good and bad. That's why God loves everybody, even the people who we consider really, really, really bad, like Hitler and Putin, for example. Because God is everything. And okay, let's not go there. Good, my mom doesn't understand what I'm talking about because she hates Putin. But and she doesn't want to hear me saying that God doesn't judge Putin. Okay, I need to stop. So, what is it talking about? So, we are badass. gods, ourselves, living on earth. And what we need to do is we need to remember it. And can you imagine, through all, like, our body remembers that those reactions like cortisol, adrenaline, estrogen, all of this microbiome manipulation through hormones. It's these primal instincts, this animal body, it's still so strong and alive in us. And these changes in our hormonal system, in our nervous system, in our cells, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal, and it can manifest as symptoms, manifest as really painful symptoms. So when we fight our body, when we fight certain problems, like I have fibroids and I need to fight it, I have problems in, I have no energy and I need to fight that, and whatever is your problem, or like I'm aging and I need to fight it, when we go into 5D, there is going to be only co-creation. There's going to be no fear anymore. So when you're fighting the problem in 5D, where we're all going right now, if you're watching this video, you absolutely and I kind of resonate with you, because some people are going to say, take this crazy woman off my phone screen, or like video screen, whatever, monitor. So if you're listening to me and you're like, interesting, you in 4D, and this is the transition, and we're going to 5 dimension. Okay, baby, just don't get on the video without pants, okay? So, what I was talking about? Sorry. Okay, 1 second. So when we... Oh, okay. So when we go into... Oh, okay. Hold on a minute, let me finish. So when we go into this 5th dimension, we are creating. And right now, unfortunately, we're creating bad shit too, because this is how we used to live, in fight and flight. We have to fight, we have to erase this problem, we have to do something about this problem. And that's how we still create. That's why between what you want, and I'm telling you, completely resonating, thank you. And right now, our job is to learn how to create. And right now, if you feel like you and a big house and beautiful career and beautiful relationship resonate with you, this timeline already exists. You are there, baby. And it's yours. I promise you. That's why you need to feel like here, this moment, already here and now, it already happened. Because our only job right now is to trust God, open up, and learn how to co-create. So when you're in fear and you feel bad, think bad thoughts, then these thoughts kidnap you, you create, you still create. Because Spirit knows what we want. He's like, I'm here, baby, I'm gonna deliver it for you. But our soul, which soul is not just your body, it's everything you see around, it doesn't judge. It's like, well, you feel like shit, you're gonna see shit around yourself. People, because they are part of you. Like, I don't know, garbage cans all over, like, whatever you see around you, baby, this is how you see inside. Absolutely. And you don't even know it. A lot of times, like I said, this is the main value of 5D, is your feeling inside. If you feel powerful, if you know how to control this thing, if you feel that electricity running through your body, that energy that God gives you, and God gives you energy for bigger things than you are. Like if you thinking like house, because yes, you're gonna get it. It's gonna be a very slow process, and you're gonna go through a lot of things around it, because your spirit wanna tell you, baby, it's not the house you want. You want connection to me, and you wanna feel like you are satisfied and loved and living this moment joyfully. That's what you want. And it's gonna give it to you, but it's gonna make you stronger and open up your consciousness and show you, baby, wake up. This is the game. You are here just to learn how to co-create with me and then move on to 5D, 6D, 7D. You're here to meet your twin flame, your divine partner. You're gonna create the worlds. You're gonna create the universe. You have so much. Why are you stuck in this house? Which is good to want house, absolutely, because if you want it, you have it. Because we don't, it's hard to understand, but we don't just live one body. There are a lot of bodies of ours, and the bigger your consciousness, the more bodies, like you understand that you are not just you're not just Elisa or Jessica or Melanie. You like so many of them, and they all give you that experience. But it's sometimes, I don't want to confuse you, because at the time back then it confused me, and I felt like, what about me? I felt like so insignificant. So it's all kind of like you have to walk the steps. So don't fight. The more this is the new condition, this is the new universal rule. When you expand your consciousness, you understand. The more you fight the problem, the more the problem fight you. So again, remember what we do? We shift our focus. We don't think that we have health problems. We think like we transitioning, we feel like we're becoming stronger, bigger. There is different energy. There is a lot of restructuring in our body, and we need to help it. That's all. We're not fighting anything anymore. If it's about the money, we think like, how can I bring so much value to this world that it gives back to me? And value doesn't mean like have a YouTube channel or do this, do that. It's what I love to do. And I feel so much joy doing it, that these new neuron connections help other people around me. Because you just think that you're disconnected. But it's not true, because we're all one soul at a certain level. It's like octopus. And we're all connected through the absolute. And when you choose love in your everyday life, when you choose to build that 5D world, because nobody's going to transition you to 5D world, you're going to build it. When you choose that through a fear, through this quantum connection, somebody else will get. So that's why we all as one consciousness, we all as people on earth, we're becoming smarter, we're getting new inventions, we're becoming more loving, more everything, because each one of us make that new choice, new neuron connections, and we all downloaded in our bank where we all sharing. So don't think that, you sitting at your house and you're insignificant. Every single second, your guides, which are us, just in expanded consciousness in different dimension. When we become one civilization. So they see your every choice. And what is important is the intention. So if you do have an intention to help other people, if you do have an intention to do something good for your family, and first for yourself, because when you love yourself, when you take care of your own body, you take care of God. There is no way around it. If you think that you can help somebody and do something for other people, but you neglect yourself, you neglect God. It's the rule number 3. Did I give yourselves too many rules? Forget it. There are no rules in this life. When there are rules on this level, but when you go to next level, all these rules becoming irrelevant. So that's why it's very important to be very careful who you're listening to, because I had these mistakes too. Because some of the people, this is this is like addiction. All of these YouTube videos and different like fancy people who know what to do, who know everything. When you're listening to them, some of them, even if they have abilities that you don't have, like they talk to spirits or they talk to past life, they do this and do that, but they only badass until certain level, and they interpret everything according to that level. Like we are multidimensional according to that building. And a lot of times I have one picture of the world, but I listen to somebody, I get into that trap, and they lower my vibration. Somehow they have a fear, or somehow their vision of what's going on with our body or with ourselves is absolutely still based on fear. And boom, even if I'm like, oh God, what a bullshit I just listened to. I'll learn how to see that. But it's still, your brain still registers it. It's like you're on a highway and you're passing some kind of billboard. You might don't even register it, but then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I saw that billboard. What a stupid picture. So be very careful. Be very careful what you take in as your own truth. Because there are so many experts right now. And at their level, they're speaking their truth. And there is no judgment, but this is their world. Maybe your consciousness, even if we all underestimate ourselves, but maybe your consciousness is absolutely different level. You have different tasks. There are people that, our consciousness never die, but when you get your level to ninth dimension, you absolutely know that you can even keep this body. You're never going to die. The body is going to change, the look is going to change, but some of us, and most of us actually, if you hear at this transition, your soul chose this experience, we're going to keep the bodies. I know it's going to sound crazy, but and again, at a certain level, when you get to a certain level, you understand that there is no body except you in this world, and you are nothing too, because it's just one quantum playing her game of all of these, and the game must go on. And actually, the game doesn't mean just here on this planet. It's all other dimensions until level 12, where I don't see what's past that. And this is what we're here for, to play the game. And the game is here in this moment. Somehow you see yourself in this moment right now, listening to me. That means it's very important for your spirit to be in this particular day. Because if it needed to be where you already with that house and a car and helicopter you want, it would be there. And that version of you exists. You like all of the versions of you, it's like different timelines. Everything exists. But your consciousness just choosing target points where this particular target point is very, very important for your best outcome. Okay? And all you need to do is to trust him, that this is the winning timeline. This is where you get all the prizes. For example, if you would go make this decision, go this timeline, you would just get the house but never got the man. You just but in this particular day, if you're opening your eyes and you're here and now listening to me, this is the winning timeline. You get the man, the money, the car, the helicopter, the kids, the big company. You're gonna invent new Louis Vuitton bag without killing animals, or perfume that's not affecting your hormone. Like, what is your desire? We have so many, baby. Expand your consciousness. We're going to talk about body a lot more. When we lie, betray ourselves, when we do what we don't want, we're losing a lot of energy, because you're playing this game here and now. When we hate what we do, when we fight, especially when we lie to ourselves. Because in 5D, you can't live with somebody you don't want to be. You can't do something you don't want to. You can't betray yourself anymore. We're going to talk a lot more. I'm going to wrap it up for today because it's a long video already. But if you feel like resonating with me, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, go to my Telegram, talk to me, join, because we're going to do a lot of work. We're going to build our own portal where we get everything: helicopter and the man and the Louis Vuitton bag and the upgraded soul, and feel joy and love. But yeah, this is what we're here for. The era of suffering and fighting and all of this is over. You only experience the fight and problems and hardships because this is your old neuron connections telling you to live that way. But we're going to make new neuron connections, and I'll see you on this path. We're gonna do it together. Love you, because we are one. And this feeling, and it comes and leaves me sometimes, and I know why, but this feeling that we are one is absolutely amazing. But I know what it's living, because that's why I have kids, because if I didn't, that feeling is all I want, because my soul comes from the level where I am connected so deeply to him that the last year I didn't even want to play the game anymore. But we're here, and we still have to play the game. We still have to build the world, build fifth dimension consciousness, give our children absolutely different world. And that's what we need to think about right now, and not how to fight little bitty stuff. And we still fight little bitty stuff because we just used to fight it, and it doesn't mean that we don't need to help again our body and our consciousness, but it just needs to be done a different way. We absolutely so deeply loved. God thinks that we are absolutely amazing, and you need to think that about yourself, that you are absolutely amazing, because not a faint soul can come to this planet where everything never stays the same, everything changes, and the experiences are so freaking harsh. But we are transitioning from that. Okay, it's over. Bye-bye. Talk soon.